Okay, we feel very good about the W. We know we can play better, but Florida State, they know they can play better as well. They didn't shoot the ball anything like us that shoot it in some of those games they played. They've got a fantastic club. I can't imagine winning 8 in a row in this league and 4 of them on the road. So Leonard's done his usual fantastic job. I think they're really good. Cabin-Gelly is a load, and he didn't have his normal game today like he has been. He's been the lead scorer coming off the bench. He's a bad matchup for any of our guys. I think that Trent Forrest has really been somebody we were worried about, and he got hurt a little bit, and so that was a bad thing for us because they brought in Nichols, and he made 4 threes, and we're standing there watching him. But thought we did a much better job offensively in the second half. Late, all we were doing is trying to make 4 or 5 passes before we went into a set, so we just used some time. But I like Luke's work on the boards with 11, Cam's work on the board with 10, 47 to 32 on the rebounds. We had 10 turnovers. I thought we had 103. So it's just depending on how you look at those things, I guess. But feel very fortunate to win the game and did some nice things.
They had 6 offensive rebounds, I think 2 in the second half. Why were you guys successful keeping them from giving it back?
Well, we out-rebounded them by 10 in the second half. We had a 5-rebound margin at halftime. In the second half, we had 10 more than they did, but that's something we emphasize all the time. So you should do things better if it's what you emphasize the most, and that's what we emphasize more than anything. It was one of the 3 things I put up on the board today, but you know, they don't usually shoot 30%. And we were fortunate we got them today in a game. We were missing a bunch of shots, and we tried to box them out and keep them off the offensive boards. I think we ended up, say, 15 to 9 on points on offensive rebounds. We'd like for it to be even a little bit more, but we'll take it.
Roy, is your 3 keys like on the board? Is that something that you got from Coach Smith, or is that something that you?
Wow. You know, that was 31 years ago. How am I supposed to remember that? But I don't know. I don't think Coach put 3. I put 3 almost every game, probably missed 2 games in 31 years that I didn't put 3 up. And it's just to try to focus on the things that I think are the most important. I don't think I'll have to ask Hubert to see if he did it when he was here. I know I started it at Kansas, and maybe I did copy Coach, and I've done a lot of that.
Did y'all win those 2 games you didn't put?
Yeah.
Coach,
I was real cocky one night. I said, let's watch them leave early. It's the only thing I put up.
Coach,
that means play your butt off. Okay. Yes.
Coach, as you're at 11 in the first half, finished with 18, how big was he, particularly in that first half, but just in the whole game in general?
Well, I think that Nasir was huge for us. He had 8 rebounds, which is his high. Are you guys running the cameras back there? My 2 grandsons. Okay, you're just watching? Okay, attaboy. No, I think Nasir and B-Rob both were big for it. B-Rob was involved in about 3 straight plays in the first half, and you know, he got whacked the other day. It broke a tooth, and they've tried to, I don't know, they call it a splint or whatever they call it, so he's wearing something in his mouth. But Nasir getting to the backboards is something that I think really helps us, and he had 1 drive and dunked it quicker than anybody, and that's what he can do. But, you know, he's been beat up, gracious sakes. He sprained an ankle, got hit in the sternum. He was hurt before all that stuff started, so I'm just happy that he was a little healthier, and he was better today, too.
Is that the biggest difference for him between the Duke game, where it seemed like he was kind of in and out at times, and then today where he was really engaged the whole time he was on the floor?
Yeah, I think he was more engaged, but he was feeling better. I mean, he had the sprained ankle in the Virginia game. We held him out. And then in the weight game, he got hit in the sternum, and that was really sore for 2 or 3 days. We held him out again. And I think that he and I had a conversation yesterday, and I'm not acting like that changed him, and he kids should get the credit for it, but just told him to focus on getting to the backboards and doing those kind of effort things, and that was big for us early in the game when he got in. And he's like everybody, you know, if you do something, you do it well once, and then you start feeling better. So I always like for guys' first shot to go in or first defensive play to do a good job. But I think he was huge for us in the entire game.
If he's able to play that way more consistently down the stretch, what does that do for you guys?
Makes our team better. I mean, that's pretty easy. It's he's one of our most gifted players. Garrison does a great job for us defensively, and comes up with some nice screens and loose balls and rebounds. And, you know, what did he do? 1 for 2 today. played 22 minutes, and it was an effective 22 minutes, even though it was just 1 for 2 and 2 for 2 from the line, so he had 4 points and 3 rebounds. But he does a lot of great things for us. But Nasir got in there, and his stat line was pretty impressive.
Roy, in your years and years and years of experience in beating #1 teams like you have so many times, is there anything, tendency that you've picked up over the years to know what to expect to look for when you go into the next game?
Well, I think, when we got back here Wednesday night, before I let them go off the bus, I talked to them about we did some good things, we got a W, we got to keep playing or you give it back. We've had a couple of L's here in the Smith Center this year, and so you got to protect your home court. I've always never minded going on the road and playing, but that was a good win for us, and I think I probably harped on that more this week than I ever have, but I don't know that there's a pattern. I remember one day we played and beat one of those #1 teams, and the next game we were great. They were cocky, and I like that. I like confidence probably better than cockiness, but I don't think there is any pattern, Art.
Roy, what does it say for this team to have 2 straight games, 2 big wins without depending on the 3?
Well, I'm dependent on the sucker to go in, so they need to start making more of them. But I've always said that you got to have great balance, and I don't know how many points we had in the paint today. Was that say 25 or 26?
Yeah, 26.
I'd like more than that, but 28, your eyes are as bad as mine. But I'd always rather have great balance, trying to get the ball inside, be able to have shooters shoot the ball from the outside. If you bank one in every now and then, that helps you too, so it's okay.
Take 1 or 2 more quick ones. Leonard's about ready. Hang on, Andrew. Take 1 or 2 more quick ones. Leonard's about ready, so Andrew, go ahead.
Why did you harp on it more this time, you said, maybe than ever before?
The first time these guys have ever gone through it. I've been around a long time, so I don't want them to go home and everybody be patting them on the back for 2 or 3 days and they forget to practice and we get to be prepared for Florida State. I mean, Florida State was 15 or 16 in the country and finished in the Elite 8 last year, so they're really good.
1 more?
What was Nazir's mindset after Duke and what did you talk to him about?
That's between me and Nasir.
Thank you.
If you're really good, I'll talk to you one of these days.